Have you ever sat in a quiet room and wondered why life feels so different after retirement? The house is clean. The coffee is warm. The television is on. But still, something feels missing. Most people talk about retirement like it is freedom. No alarm clock. No boss. No traffic. No long days. No pressure to prove yourself anymore. But they rarely talk about what happens after the excitement fades. They rarely talk about the silence. They rarely talk about waking up and realizing nobody is waiting for you to show up somewhere. Nobody is asking for your opinion at work. Nobody needs you for the morning meeting. Nobody notices if you stay home all day. And before you ignore this, think about your own life for a moment. Have you ever missed the version of yourself that used to be busy? The version people counted on? The version who had a reason to get dressed, leave the house, and be part of something? Maybe you have felt this too. And this is the loneliness nobody talks about after retirement. At first, retirement can feel like a gift. You may tell yourself, "Finally, I can rest." And you deserve that rest. After decades of working, raising children, paying bills, fixing problems, helping family, and carrying responsibilities, rest feels beautiful. For a while, sleeping late feels good. Quiet mornings feel peaceful. Not rushing anywhere feels like freedom. But then slowly, something changes. One day turns into the next. The phone rings less. The calendar gets emptier. The world keeps moving, but your part in it feels smaller. And the real reason is deeper than most people think. Loneliness after retirement is not always about being physically alone. Some people feel lonely even when they live with a spouse. Some feel lonely even when their children visit. Some feel lonely in a full church, a busy grocery store, or a family gathering. Because loneliness is not just the absence of people. Sometimes, loneliness is the absence of purpose. It is the feeling that life used to need you, and now you are not sure where you fit. Think about a man named Robert. For 42 years, Robert worked at the same hardware store in Ohio. He knew every customer by name. People came in and asked for him. They trusted him. He knew which neighbor needed a new lock, which young couple bought their first home, and which old farmer always needed the same size screws. When Robert retired, everyone gave him a cake. They clapped. They hugged him. They said, "Enjoy your retirement. You earned it." And he did enjoy it. For about 3 weeks. Then the mornings became strange. He still woke up at 5:30. His body did not know he was retired. He made coffee. He looked out the kitchen window. He checked the weather. Then he sat down and thought, "Now what?" What happened next is something many older adults quietly understand. Robert did not become sad all at once. It happened slowly. He stopped shaving every day. He stopped putting on his good shoes. He stopped going to the store unless he really had to. His daughter called every Sunday, and he always said the same thing. "I'm fine." But he was not fine. He was not in danger. He was not broken. He was simply lonely in a way he did not know how to explain. Many seniors do this. They say, "I'm fine," because they do not want to be a burden. They do not want their children to worry. They do not want anyone to think they are weak. But here is what many seniors discover too late. Silence grows when you never speak honestly about it. And loneliness becomes heavier when you pretend it is not there. The first lesson is simple, but it takes courage. Admit what you feel without being ashamed. There is no shame in missing people. There is no shame in missing your old routine. There is no shame in missing the feeling of being needed. You are not ungrateful because retirement feels hard sometimes. You can be thankful for rest and still miss connection. You can enjoy freedom and still miss structure. You can love your family and still feel forgotten. Both things can be true. And sometimes, saying it out loud is the first step toward healing. You might say to a son, a daughter, a friend, or even someone at church, "I've been feeling a little lonely lately." That sentence may feel small, but it can open a door. The second lesson is that retirement needs a new rhythm. For many years, work gave your life a schedule. You knew when to wake up. You knew where to go. You knew what had to be done. After retirement, the schedule disappears. At first, that feels wonderful. But over time, too much empty space can make the mind wander into sadness. A peaceful life still needs rhythm. Maybe Monday becomes grocery day. Tuesday becomes coffee with a friend. Wednesday becomes a walk around the neighborhood. Thursday becomes a phone call with a grandchild. Friday becomes a library visit, a church group, a senior center activity, or lunch at the same little diner. It does not have to be big. Because sometimes, the smallest change after 60 can bring back peace. A reason to leave the house matters. A familiar face matters. A simple routine matters. The third lesson is that connection often requires the first move. This part can be painful. Many seniors wait for the phone to ring. They wait for children to visit. They wait for old friends to remember them. And yes, families should do better. Children should call. Grandchildren should visit. Neighbors should check in. But life is busy, and people often do not understand what silence feels like for someone retired. So sometimes, the brave thing is to reach first. Send the message. Make the call. Invite someone for coffee. Ask a neighbor how they are doing. Call an old friend and say, "I was thinking about you today." You may feel nervous. You may think, "I don't want to bother anyone." But the truth is, many people are lonely too. They are just waiting for someone else to reach out. And by the end of this video, you may look at your own life differently. Because connection is not always found by waiting. Sometimes, it returns when you gently open the door. The fourth lesson is that purpose does not retire. Jobs end. Careers end. Titles change. But your value does not disappear. You still have wisdom. You still have stories. You still have skills. You still have something to give. Maybe you can help at a local school. Maybe you can volunteer at a food pantry. Maybe you can teach a grandchild how to cook, fix something, plant flowers, write a letter, or understand life. Maybe you can call another senior who has nobody. Maybe you can become the person you wish someone had been for you. Purpose after retirement does not always look impressive. Sometimes purpose looks like baking a pie for a neighbor. Sometimes it looks like sitting with a friend who lost a spouse. Sometimes it looks like telling a younger person, "I've been through hard times too, and you can make it." Do not underestimate the power of your presence. A retired person with a kind heart can still change someone's day. The fifth lesson is that your home should not become your whole world. Home is comfortable. Home is safe. Home is familiar. But if every day happens in the same chair, in the same room, with the same television shows, life can start to feel smaller. This does not mean you need to travel the world. It does not mean you need to spend money. It simply means your eyes need new places to see. Sit on the porch. Walk to the mailbox slowly and notice the sky. Visit a park. Go to a small town event. Attend a free community class. Sit in a coffee shop and watch people pass by. The world still has room for you. You are not too old to be seen. You are not too late to begin again in small ways. The sixth lesson is one families need to hear too. Older adults do not only need help. They need respect. They need time. They need conversation that is not rushed. They need someone to ask, "How are you really doing?" Not just, "Did you take care of everything?" Not just, "Do you need groceries?" Not just, "Is the house okay?" Those things matter. But the heart needs more. A parent may not say, "I'm lonely." A grandfather may not say, "I miss being needed." A grandmother may not say, "I feel invisible now." But sometimes you can hear it in the quiet. You can see it in the way they keep the call going a little longer. You can feel it when they ask the same question twice, not because they forgot, but because they do not want the conversation to end. If you are a family member watching this, call them. Visit them. Ask about their memories. Let them tell the story again. One day, you may wish you could hear it one more time. And if you are the senior watching this, please remember this. Your life is not over because one chapter closed. Retirement is not the end of your usefulness. It is not the end of your importance. It is not the end of love, friendship, laughter, or purpose. It may feel quiet right now. It may feel different. It may even feel painful. But quiet seasons can still become meaningful seasons. Start with one small step. Open the curtains. Make the call. Take the walk. Join the group. Tell the truth. Ask for company. Offer kindness. Let yourself be seen again. Because loneliness loses some of its power when it is brought into the light. And maybe today is the day you stop pretending you are fine when your heart needs connection. Maybe today is the day you remember that you still matter. You matter when you are busy. You matter when you are resting. You matter when the phone is silent. You matter when the house is quiet. You matter because your life has carried love, work, sacrifice, pain, courage, and lessons that younger people still need. So if retirement has felt lonelier than you expected, you are not alone. Many people feel it. Few people say it. But here, we can say it honestly. Life after retirement can be beautiful. But it also needs care. It needs friendship. It needs purpose. It needs small moments that remind you your heart is still alive. If this message touched your heart, subscribe to Senior Life Chronicles. And in the comments, tell us one lesson life taught you after 60. Your story may help someone else feel less alone. And if you know an older parent, grandparent, neighbor, or friend who may need to hear this, share this video with them. Sometimes one gentle message arrives at the exact moment a lonely heart needs it most.